Good evening, welcome to the border. Today we're gonna stop smugglers in their tracks. To do so we'll need to inspect every passerby and go through their stuff. Have some luggage? Give it here. You've got a ton of gravel? Why? You had the runs before leaving, so you bring 3 damn toilets with you? Let me sniff them. Here we treat everyone fairly. We only reject people based on their nationality, weight, job, method, and looks. All for the greater good. Speeding, corruption and murder are but only a stepping stone in our mission to make America, Karistan, great again. We're gonna rule with an iron fist, and so bribe money will be tolerated. So without further ado, let's get into the meat of it. Day 1 starts with me learning the ropes of how things are done around here. Pull this, let the next person in, check their ID, check their vehicle, stop them in the face, get the game over, travel down to hell, meet up with a couple of your mates, have a couple of drinks, meet up with Lucifer's daughter, be a horrible guest when she inevitably asks you to meet her father, get kicked out, refuse to leave, tell the devil that he'll never see you again if he brings the dude back to life, restart the game, and arrest the dude. Easy game! After I'm done with inspecting everyone, I'm told to transport the prisoners to the work camp and deposit the contraband cocaine at the police base so they can safely dispose of it. So I put everyone in my van and drove to the mines very carefully, where our wonderful companions will take a U-turn and become miners. Either way, I decided to pop down to the only store in a 40-kilometer radius. On my way there, I took the wrong turn, so with the power of my 4.5 brain cells combined, I decided to try to reverse while I have my door open. As you might be able to tell, I'm in Spain, without the A. Wait. No! Either way, I get to the shop to buy some food and water, as I haven't really eaten anything today, but as it turns out my joke from earlier actually makes sense, as the only store in the area only sells weapons. Welcome to America. You gotta take what you can get though, right? So with that, I eat some of the bullets and make my way over to the police base to hand over the cocaine. When I get there, however, I'm lucky enough to get a glimpse of their secret technique passed down from generation to generation on how to dispose of illegal substances. With that, my first day concluded. Day 2 was relatively uneventful, but when I finished all my tasks, I was called upon a super special awesome secret mission to intersect an illegal deal. So, I got into the van with my partner and drove to the mill. It became clear that the sergeant was dealing with, well, the dealers, so I decided to head back and call for backup. Oh shit! I got out of the car, grabbed my pistol and like most people ran straight into the open where I got shredded. As you might be able to tell, I mix up my shoe size with my IQ. Either way, my partner unfortunately unlived and I was carried to the hospital, where I was told that my kidney's in terrible shape due to the copious amounts of lead in my body. Turns out if you eat bullets and then get shot, your body won't like you very much. Now, thankfully for me, Karistan is a communist country, so you know what that means. Your kidneys are my kidneys. With that, the tutorial has finished. Day 3. Here's how it went. I woke up, opened the gate, check the name, check the password, check the cargo list, fuck off. Check the name, check the password, check the cargo list, fuck off. Check the name, check the password, check the cargo list. Wait, there is nothing wrong with these documents. Fuck off. So yeah, that, and I arrested the dude, this time with no pentagram necessary. A couple more people later, I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Alexandrovich. This piece of bastard is the scum of the earth. He's trying to smuggle alcohol into this precious Oh. Mr. Alexandrovich is a kind and honest person who clearly tips very well for a good service. Go right ahead, sir. With that, I managed to make my way through the line, so I headed out for an afternoon drive to get to know the locals a bit more. During my little adventure, I met the local genius and the world's cleanest toilet. And with that, day 3 has concluded. Or so you thought. Apparently, the traitor was at Vad's shop, so I was called upon to track him down. After a super sneaky, followed this car for 10 minutes, I went inside his house, where he told me to let him go. So, I took my oath, threw it in the trash, and let him go. Day 4. I open the gate, get through a couple of people, when I get a call about a fugitive trying to flee. So, I get into my van and go on the pursuit. As the responsible officer that I am, I start speeding down the road at 70 kilometers on a 50 road. Or for you Americans, that's 13,123.4 monster trucks per 2,700 shots with an M4. I then make the educated decision to ram my face straight into the fugitives behind, which causes them to spin out, and after I cause some unavoidable damages, I arrested him. At this point my van is absolutely fucked, but I ain't paying 50 bucks just to have it repaired, especially considering that it is still able to go carring. What a day. The next couple of days came and went without anything special happening up until day 12. You know the drill. I woke up like any other day, started doing my job. I got into the van, which, may I remind you, is absolutely wrecked by now, and went on the chase. I once again rammed his behind, but since that wasn't enough, I decided to completely obliterate him.
Nino, motherfucker!
After the arrest, I got back in my van and started driving back to the border where I finished all my tasks. So, yet again, I decided to go out for an afternoon drive. During said ride, I came across a couple of rascals, who I promptly got rid of. Unfortunately, at this point I still didn't quite know where everything was in the game, so I made the grave mistake of looking at my map.
Oh shit. Where am I?
Get out.
I was rudely awakened to being raided by pain, glowing peasants. We can't have that, so I quickly put them out of their misery and went back to sleep. The next day I got a call that someone was murdered at the local pub. After making my way down to the scene, I go out back to check out the body. On his person, I find a watch with the initials VM. I turn my dark light on to find boot prints leading me to the murder weapon. A knife. With that, I head back into the bar to interrogate the suspect. There are 6 in total. Yegor Sahayev, seemingly a friend of the victim who lent him money before. Timur Konchenko, who has a sick father and suspects the janitor. The bartender, who tells me that these guys came around yesterday to have a drink. Vasil Morin, whose initials were on the watch I found earlier. Nikita Petrovisky, who was here to celebrate the victim's promotion. The janitor, who found the body while taking out the trash this morning. He knows that the back gate was locked with the key missing. With that, I made the executive decision to let Sahayev and Morin go, as I thought it would be odd for a friend to murder the victim after he paid back the loan. With that, I'm told to look around where the party was to look for clues. So I make my way down and get utterly obliterated by the murderer, as I apparently made the wrong choice.
Dude, really? I thought we had a deal. Yeah, sorry dude, it's not gonna happen again. Fine.
So with that knowledge, the correct decision is to release the janitor and Timur. Obviously, the correct decision is to let the bartender go. After investigating the party, I decide to let Timur and the janitor Sahayev and Mortin go. With that, the cops managed to open the warehouse, where I found a letter by Timur just straight up admitting the crime, which is when I pulled the biggest smooth brain moment of my life. And instead of arresting him, I framed the janitor as the killer. I'm an absolute genius. But hey, a paycheck is a paycheck. With that extra 800 bucks, I decided to buy myself a new car.
You caused the freedom of an innocent life.
I wouldn't have it any other way. So I took it for a ride, this time trying to be as careful as possible so I don't harm anyone and so I don't grudge this beauty. Well, that didn't take long. A couple of days yet again go by before I'm tasked to infiltrate a gang's hideout.
You know what? Fuck it. This is my domain now.
Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't had enough of my voice, there is another video right here. Goodbye.